Hey guys, welcome back to my craft room and back to Crafty Christmas. So today we have a very geeky project. Normally I would kind of make this a different video, but I thought this would be perfect for a Christmas gift for any of your role-playing game friends or any kind of gaming person, because sometimes they can use a screen for non, Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder games. It's kind of a versatile gaming tool to have in your belt, especially if you are running the game. So these are basically screens that you would put up to, not have people look at the monsters that you're going to be putting on the board, to hopefully keep their health secret. And also, I know some DMs who like to roll the dice without them being seen. So, this is going to be a fun gift to give. And also, very easy to make. Normally, if you go looking for DM screens or GM screens, they tend to be a bit pricey. So, this is one way that you can kind of customize the price, customize the design, and really make it what you need it to be. So, what I started out with is some really thick card, well, just some cardboard. I used like stuff that you actually can buy, but you could do, if you get some really thick, I know they make like poster board and stuff. You could even do the foam board that we had made the dice tower with. You just really want it to be really nice and sturdy, whatever you're going to use. You could even, if you don't have that option, just hot glue a bunch of pieces of just normal cardboard you could find and just make it as thick as you need it to be. Now, I made my screen to be three pieces of 4 by 10. You could do 4 by 11, but you're going to have a little bit of a hiccup of it not closing all the way. So 4 by 10 or 4 by 10 and a half is really going to give you a really nice kind of maneuvering so that way you can close it and you don't have to worry about it really trying to pop back open. But I also added some ribbon to mine just to tie it close and to give it a little bit of extra oomph. So all I did was make some hinges, and I did 4 by 2-inch little strips of just some really thick and nice cardstock, and then just score it down the middle. And I cut the ends off of mine because I didn't want it to overlap with the edges of the actual screen. So this is kind of an option if you would rather have it go all the way. Totally fine. I do kind of wish I did, just because my fabric ended up being a little thin, so you could see them, and it's not as nice looking, I guess. I should have went with craft cardstock to match the cardboard, and then made it go all the way to the tops. But, it's all a trial and error, right? But then, of course, if I would have used a different material, it would have been different anyway, so. But all you're going to do is just put your hinges on. Make sure, what I did is to make sure that I actually have the hinges in the right place, is put the screen where I wanted it to be, and then do my outside hinges. And then on the inside, do my inside hinges with it laying flat. And that really made it a lot easier, so that way I didn't have to put much thought into where I needed to have my hinges be hinging. whatever that word is. Wherever they're flopping, I guess. I don't know. And you could also decide to make your screen a little bit taller. Of course, it's going to be a little bit iffier with cardboard pieces because it comes a little bit varied in the sizes that you can get. So just kind of watch out for that. And then also whatever material you're covering with. Because if it is paper, you're going to have kind of a limited choice. But with material, you're pretty much fine because you can just buy more material. Longer yardage. I actually found this print, and it's a Dungeons and Dragons print from an artist on Spoonflower, where you can get special made fabric, and it turned out so cool to put this on a oh my gosh, DM screen. And all I did was just cut it out to size with maybe an inch or so around the edges, just to make sure I had enough to cover it on either side. And then I used a purple, and it's a really nice purple that goes really well with the purple of the special made fabric. And I used that for the inside. And all I did was just hot glue everything down to the cardboard just to make sure it was really nice and steady. It's not going to rip out or anything because this is going to be, you know, used quite a bit. And then also when it's stored, it's going to be in a position where the fabric could be, you know, maneuvered. If you didn't want it to be so fragile, but it's not really fragile. If you didn't want it to be so, gosh, what is the word I'm looking for? I think you kind of understand. If you want it to be more durable, then maybe paper would be better. Just wrap it with some cardstock, and then you could either do fabric over that, or you could do a kind of printed paper if you have something you wanted, or you could even design your own with your own artwork or images. You know, it's kind of a really a free-for-all of what you want to do and how you want to personalize it. It's kind of just something that's really fun that you can show off to all of the people that play in your groups. And, you know, it's also something that you can give to someone that they're going to be like, oh my gosh, like you really nailed it in the head, you know, this time for my Christmas gift or whatever. I guess if you're not giving it as a Christmas gift, but I think it's really something that is very personalized if you want it to be. And it's so fun to find different little maybe images or like this fabric that kind of matches the person, or maybe matches to the kind of games you play. So if you're playing like a pirate game, you can find some pirate fabric and some pirate ribbon. Or if you're playing like a horror game, ooh, you could do like a haunted house or bats. Oh, that would be so cool. Or maybe if you're trying to think of some other games. Oh, I know, Star Trek games. Those are run a lot. You could do a Star Trek scene on the front. Or even just Star Trek fabric that you could find at like Joann's probably. These are kind of just like so fun to create, and you could do so much with them. And if you are, you know, in multiple games and you have multiple DMs, or I guess GMs, and they're, you know, maybe running a campaign throughout the holidays, and you want to give them a gift because, heck, they do so much to, you know, read the story or even make the story and then tell it and then, you know, put up with your character who wants to kill everything, or just goes off and puts sawdust in your pockets, like, but it's kind of a really nice gift to be like, oh, you know, thanks for running, you know, and really taking the time to have us be us, like, you know. And it's kind of a nice way to just say thank you, or, you know, happy holidays, with still being on point of maybe why you're friends with them or how you came to be friends with them. And I think that you could really just make this your own and make it so cool. And for a fraction of the cost of a normal DM screen, I'm not gonna, you know, say who, which isn't even that cool, throwing shade. But, you know, I think that any DM would be so excited to receive a screen from you that they can play in the game, play with, you know, while they're playing the game with you, or even, you know, in farther games down the road, they could pull it out and be like, oh yeah, my awesome friend who I used to campaign with, they made me this for the holidays. Then everyone's gonna be like, oh darn, now I have to make something for him. Or, you know, buy him something. You're gonna start a trend of getting gifts for your D&D, oh my gosh, your GM or DM. But one thing I really wish I would have done is ironed the purple. Ooh, it did come out kind of wrinkly. When I say kind of, it's really wrinkly. I tried to pull it very taut, and then I rolled it underneath and then glued it, just to make sure that, you know, it was really pulled up so the wrinkles kind of went away. And it also, I didn't want to overlap it on the other side because I already did that on the bottom. So I wanted to have that pattern go all the way to the top. So doing the plain fabric rolled under was really nice. And you could also, you know, sew a sleeve. It's just like making a pillowcase and then sew up the other side if you wanted to go that route. It would be rather movable though. That's why I went with the hot glue, because then I could have every side kind of stay positioned. It won't move. You won't have to continuously fight with the cardboard to kind of get it back to where it needs to be. But, oh, and another thing, when I did the corners, I did just cut a little diagonal right up to the corner of the cardboard, and then sorry, then I just rolled the purple fabric on top of that, on top of the corner. And then I also did a purple ribbon that went around that. You don't get to see that, but I added that after. I was like, ooh, that would be cute. So, and then I added it. But there is my DM, GM, whatever you want to call it, screen, gaming screen. I think it turned out awesome, and I can't wait to make more in different themes and colors. Oh, I just the ideas are flowing. And I think this was a good one to include in Crafty Christmas, because sometimes we don't see, you know, geeky projects for gifts and whatnot. So I like to include them when I, you know, get the ideas or start making them. And I hope you guys enjoy the geeky ones too as well. And I hope you guys are having a good crazy, not bad crazy. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys!